Ladies and... Oh, is my face frozen already? All right, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. My name is Eli. If you don't already know, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days in which we do Q&A days. Oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath. I'm so sorry, guys. But the title of the video is obviously very similar to yesterday's video, which is posted. This is for the purpose of I usually don't have time to go through and answer everyone's comments and questions that they have. So this is the day for you guys to do so. But otherwise, if you don't have any comments and questions, then let's just have a fun stream, ask each other, you know, what's going on in the market, just kind of chit and chat. But if you don't already know, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content each week for you to do so. And then lastly, as well, if you haven't checked any of the links down in the description below, we've got, I think, 4 spots left for the Patreon wholesale group before we officially sell out. And then we also have an amazing Discord community that you can check out and be a part of. Links down in the description below for that as well. But let's give a couple of shout outs to the people that are here. All right, Necro says, what up, Necro? Daddy Zard is here. Roma Sheech, Catch 'em all TCG. Department Store, Tommy's Top Picks. Robert, Andres, Young Playmaker, Tori, Blake, Market Scraper, Ripper, Trinell, and Tom. Pokey, Dad 2.0, Shadowless Tony, Andrew Klein, Gennaro, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. A little bit of a longer countdown than usual. I do 7 minutes usually. This time I did 10 minutes. So let's just jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what everyone has to say so far. Department Store saying get some tax advice from your CPA. I have a Pikachu calculator coming. That's funny. Necro says, I can feel it. No tribal, no technical difficulties today. Well, to be fair, like our technical difficulties since I switched to an SD from a hard drive has like basically disappeared. It's only the occasional like, oh, I had to do an update on my like camera, which happened once. But you know, other than that, it's like everything's basically kind of disappeared. Excuse me. Run around the house to get the heart rate is up. That's it. My man's out of breath. Yeah, right. Well, I had to go to the bathroom and I was like, crap, I gotta rush the frick out of this because I was downstairs. So I ran all the way up and was like, whew, I made it. I'm a little late, but I had to go. Someone said Champion's Path dropped last on retail sites for $50 in ATP. Is this true? Also, what's up with retail sites going, getting product in card shops are not? Well, it depends on what you mean by retail sites, Andrew. Pokemon Center website, then yeah, I can see that because every so often they just have a back stock of product they just so happen to find. It's not a ton of it, so it sells out quick. But outside of the Pokemon Center website, highly doubt that. What's up, Jeremiah? Good to see you, brother. RD, hey. Maxime Roy, hello. James, what's up, James? Hey, Eli, I pulled yesterday out of one of the triple beats the Dendra SAR going for $700. I'm not a scalper or a flipper, but I realized that the card would sell high right now. Buy, but any hodl it? Oh my gosh, dude. Honestly, Jay, I know the Japanese market is a little bit different than English, so it's hard for me not to say like, oh, like because it's different to hodl, but $700 for that card, part of me is like, yo, just take the money and run. Like, worst case scenario is like, what? It could have been more. Who cares? You made 700 freaking bucks. Like, I don't know, man. In those situations, I just tend to try and not get greedy. That's just me, because I've learned my mistakes in the past. But Pika, what is up, dude? Good to see you as always. Hey, y'all, shout out to Eli. Well, shout out to you, Pika. Good to see you. Babe Cakes is also here. Shout out to Babe Cakes. Champions Pad had a drop on Best Buy. Interesting. How long did it last though? How long did it last? Because that is very interesting. Sell that thing, dude. Right? Playmaker says, hey Eli, I've got a lot of Evolving Skies debating on selling some, but my original time horizon was 5+ years. Should I change that based on how fast it went up? You always have to learn this, Playmaker. And here's the deal. ideally in a perfect world, we go off a time frame, but in reality, what is the measurement of the time frame? It's more or less supposed to be a predictor of how long a market cycle is in theory going to last before it gets to its point of hyperbolic, right? So in other words, if you look at, you know, crypto, for example, right? Crypto had a bear market after it had its bull market from 2014 all the way until 2017, right? And then it had like about a year stint of like a bull market, right? Then from basically end of 2017 going into 2018, you had more or less a bear market up until at the end of 2022, so about 3 years, and then slowed down going into 2021, and then here we are now. So that was more or less something that happened in increments of 2 to 3 years, right? So when we look at things, obviously, if you say to yourself, yeah, I want to buy crypto at, you know, and hold it for 5 years, like in theory, that could work in theory. But at the end of the day, if you had bought back in 2017 at $20,000, which was the top, and you didn't sell when you doubled, tripled your money, then obviously you would still be down and could have missed out on opportunity. So for me personally, I look at that in the exact same limelight for anything else, such as Pokemon and Evolving Skies. I say to myself, hey, if I got, you know, a booster box at 100, 105 bucks, I can sell it right now for 400. Yeah, I'm cashing out. I'm cashing out. No question asked about it. No question. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, I'm still recovering from my sickness. I apologize. But yeah, no. It's one of those things too where here's the situation, right? With Evolving Skies, everyone keeps saying, I don't know if it's going to get reprinted. I don't know if it's going to get reprinted or not, right? Here's why I feel really confident it's going to get reprinted. In the history of Pokemon, there's only been one set to my knowledge, right? To my knowledge. So if you want to fact check me, you can. There's been only one set to my knowledge in the history of Pokemon, or at least in, you know, since I want to say at least the Diamond Pearl era, that has gotten a reprint within the standard format, or outside of the standard format. That set was Evolutions. Why? Because the set was absolutely climbing in price. It was going to a crazy amount of value. Like, Evolutions booster boxes were just climbing, right? The Pokemon Company realized this after it had gone out of rotation, and they addressed it by reprinting the crap out of it, and to the point of where you saw basically the price of that booster box sub $100 going into the pandemic. Now, Evolving Skies is a set that is still in rotation and arguably is going to be at least in rotation for another half year to year plus. Why? In what situation would the Pokemon Company not reprint a set that not only is still in rotation, but is also climbing and continuing to climb, unlike the situation where Evolutions was out of rotation and it skyrocketed up? I feel like, for me personally, it just once again would be history repeating itself, which is why I personally say, listen, although my statement that I made, I think it was about a month or two ago, I said that after the small resupply, I said basically the price is just going to skyrocket because people are going to assume this is going to be the last print, and prices are just going to keep going up forever until we hear news of a reprint. And that just makes sense from an emotional perspective when it comes to how people react in a market. And for me, the higher the price gets, the more likely, in my mind, it's going to be to a reprint. Because the Pokemon Company, you know, everyone always wants to make the argument, yeah, sure, it's like not competitively viable. And yeah, we've got Pokemon Evolving Skies products that are being pushed out right now to suppress the price of singles, right? But still, even then, this just looks like deja vu to me, because you guys remember, those of you that have been around since 2018, 2019, 2020, you remember how Evolutions was put in Evolutions pack was put in everything. Like, it was put in every tin, every specialty box, Evolutions was every single product that was being pushed out. There's almost always an Evolutions pack. What is going on with Evolving Skies? That is, it looks like what's going to happen, and with that, it also presumably happened with booster boxes as well, because I think the Pokemon company can't just sit idly by and say, hey, Evolving Skies, $400. Okay. Well, at this rate, it could easily hit $500 by June, and I think that's an undershot. I think it could honestly hit it as soon as April, May. And that's just us saying based on the current market. And I don't think the Pokemon company is going to look and see Evolving Skies and say, hey, this is a set that's been out for a little over a year now, and it's hit $500-600 and just say, yeah, that's it. Like, just, it's still in rotation. Good luck. You had your 6-month period of getting in for all the new people that are in the hobby. No, that's not how the Pokemon company works. That's not how they operate. They did this with Hidden Fates. People said Hidden Fates was out of print. People said Hidden Fates was done. What happened? We got a Elite Trainer Box reprint in January, or at the start of 2021, when people thought that it was just over for Hidden Fates because it's not a competitively viable set. It's just a collector set. But the price of Elite Trainer Boxes were pushing $300, and the Pokemon company said, we're going to step in and we're going to make this adjustment. Has nothing to do with the competitive meta. It just was in standard rotation. So I feel like you can't make the argument that says it's they're not going to because it's not competitive, because they did the same thing with Hidden Fates, right, with that being still in rotation. So, but I don't know, man, that's just kind of my opinion. So when you ask the question more or less about Evolving Skies, that's just kind of where I am with it. I'd much rather not leave money on the table and take profits. And you don't have to sell it all, right? Like, that's on you. Like, if you want to sell a little bit, great, but I'd much rather be safe than sorry. You're always going to have other opportunities in the market. I feel like the slab market is becoming so oversaturated recently. We all know the big slabs that everyone really wants, and burning and churning raw singles has been great for me. I mean, there's no denying it's definitely become a little bit oversaturated, but there's still so many opportunities, right? Like, we took a look not too long ago at Lugia and Giratina, for example. We took a look at, like, let's look at the Lugia, right? We talked about this on my last video that I posted when talking about singles. I can't remember how long ago this was. It was probably like a week and a half ago. But more or less in the conversation, we were just kind of discussing what is going on with Silver Tempest and LO. Because if you look at the spread between the cards, it looks like the value is, oh wow, has the value of the 10 versus the 9 gone down since we last looked at it? That's hilarious. It's gone down. Wow, it's gone down a lot too. When was that my video that I posted? Let me go look at my video. And this is why we do 250, guys. This is why we do 250. Top 5. Nope. Should you be investing in these Pokemon right now? I made that video February 27th. So I made that video right here, and it's gone down. Oh, it hasn't gone down that much. Am I tripping? Why is the value of the spread on this look not the best anymore? Why does it look like this was drastically adjusted? That's confusing. Am I tripping? I almost want to look at my video now, and I want to watch this. I'm gonna have you guys watch this with me, because we're gonna find out if I'm tripping or not. Lugia V. So that's the Giratina. Let's look at the Lugia. Okay, so the Lugia Nope. No, do I have to go further back? Why is my face always in the freaking way? I swear to God. Here, I'm gonna have to turn on the volume, I guess, for myself. Do I have myself muted? I think I do. You guys can probably hear. My face is always in the way. Every time, I always try and be good about this. Okay, so look, when I posted the video, okay, it just shows us right there. The video shows us that the card itself was valued at 458. But if we go and look at the chart right now, when I last posted this video, but is this indicative? 411? 411? Yeah. I recorded the video same day. Something ain't right. They adjusted their charts. That's not right. That's not accurate. I don't know why it's like that. Wow, that's extremely confusing. Does anyone know why it's like that? What? That's really confusing. Let me get to, but yeah, I don't know, man. That is kind of weird. Wow, what? Well, okay. What about with Lost Origin? Is it like this with Lost Origin as well? Okay, so let's see, where's the PSA 10 at? PSA 10 is at 680. When I posted my video, the price was at 713. Back in 273. 686. 713. Whoa, what? And what was the 9? The 9 was 309 versus it was 283 here. The 9's gone up. That doesn't surprise me. Oh wait, is that the 9 or the raw? No, that's the 9. Yeah, look at the TCG player price. Look at the spread on this now. And then look at the original spread in the video. Look at how different this is now. Look at how much the value of the two have combined. See, that's why I get so scared in this market, because it's just so volatile with some of the newer product. It's scary. Department store says, Eli, what's a few of your strengths besides being cute? Well, it depends on what you mean, like my strengths. Like something I'm good at? Like what is like a talent of mine? Elaborate a little bit more. Any word on more Crown Zenith product other than the small resupply? And I heard someone typing in the chat saying it was a reprint. No, it is not a reprint. Please do not hear me wrong. I said it was a resupply, and it was a tiny resupply, and this is not something that is like, oh my gosh, it's gonna change the market. I'm just letting people know here's what's going on behind the scenes with me and distros. We had a little bit of Crown Zenith ETBs be given to us from the Pokemon company to distro to us. I myself got 3 cases. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of product. It's not a reprint. I'm gonna say this again. It is not a reprint. So stop saying that. Sorry. Some people are like saying, Eli's saying there's a reprint. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not saying there's a reprint, please. So other than that, just the tins that are being released obviously this week, but nothing else, sadly. I have a spare booster box I was selling and everyone on Facebook, etc., and they wanted them on the low like 110, just frustrating and annoying. Rather hold on to them. Which booster box is the question, obviously. Makes a lot of sense. Thanks. No problem. Evolutions was printed for 5 years or more. It was printed for a very long time. It was printed for a long time. What about Roaring Skies? Roaring Skies was printed in rotation. So the argument that I am making is more or less when comparing evolutions to Roaring Skies. The argument I've heard the most, Roma, is although I agree with you, that is a good one to look at. Roaring Skies got a print because the Shaman EX was a super duper competitive card in the meta. And because of that, the Pokemon Company needed to address the price value of that by printing the crap out of the set and throwing Roaring Skies in the product. Evolutions, on the other hand, was not a competitively viable set. It was a specialty set, kind of like Hidden Fates. Obviously, it had booster boxes, however, and for that reason, I like to look towards that because people like to make the argument Evolution or Evolving Skies, not competitively viable set. Most people don't really care for it other than the alternate arts and collecting it. Well, that doesn't matter. Also, I like to use that example because it's also out of rotation, saying that if the Pokemon Company is willing to address prices upwards of $500 a booster box while it's out of rotation, why is this going to change anything for a set that's in rotation? You know what I mean? Would I keep or sell a booster box right now? It depends on the booster box. That's such a, like, you got to give me more context to that. Late again. What's up, Don? How dare you be late? What the heck, man? No, I'm kidding. They already reprinted many of the Sword and Shield sets. Maybe they put to yellow borders behind. I doubt that. Highly, highly doubt that. But, you know, who knows? We'll see. We're in unprecedented time. Evolving Skies has been out for almost 2 years now. No, it's not. It's been out for a year and a half. So, I mean, I guess in the context of almost 2 years, sure, there's still about 6 months, but like a set in and of itself is in rotation for typically at least 2 years, right? However, we obviously prolonged the rotational cycle because of COVID. And so the new rotation is going to end this end of month, right? If we're going on that new rotation cycle, in theory, that gives us at least another year of Evolving Skies being in rotation. If not, and we're going back to the old system, which is in September, when it usually rotates out, sometimes late August, then that's going to give us about another 6-month period. But Evolving Skies came out August 28th, if I'm correct. That was the date. And so at this point in time, right, that's, I mean, of 2021, obviously. Yeah, that puts us at August, September, October, November, January, February, March. Yeah, that puts us roughly at around, yeah, a year and 6 months. So we still have a ways to go before we've hit that 2-year period. How can I watch the video on Football Pete everyone's referencing? You have to actually download the eBay app and then go to his channel and watch the live. That's what I realized. You can't watch it on online. You have to literally go in the app and do it. Eli, I hope your recovery is going well. It is going. I am still struggling. I'm like on the back end of it, so I'm like finally starting to get caught up. I should be messaging most of the people from the Patreon group at the end of the day to hopefully get all of the shipments taken care of, just so I can at least start accepting payment, because I have a bunch of stuff that I sold to people, but I haven't asked for payment yet, or I haven't started the shipment process. So I'm gonna have to go through and do that because I'm obviously behind since I've been sick. So because I'm just sitting on a ton of product and people are like, hey, when can we pay you so we can get this product? And I'm like, okay, I'll give you, just give me a sec. It's hard. It's struggle busting over here. How can I watch the, already answer that question. Whoa, Inception, which is the real Eli? I'm the real Eli. I swear to God, dude. So many bots. Thankfully, I think it was Jayon was the one who recently did he created it so you have to do like a two-factor authent with your phone number, so that we don't hopefully have this issue anymore with the, you know, with the spammers. It's such a joke. You need a video of you watching a video of you watching a video and we'll start to doubt. Oh, right. My video myself is right there. Isn't that weird, though? We're living in a simulation. What Pokemon investing is an illusion? No. Just more and more submissions are occurring and people are getting their submissions back. So many more slabs hitting the market. You can see the pop report. No, 100%. Freaking opened the $75 and it sold out. Wish I had known. Sold out in 30 seconds, extra crisp. But like I said, we still have 4 slots left for the $100 price point. Most of the people will say it's worth it. What makes you not like the other girls? I have a penis. That probably is what makes me like not the other girls. I'm about to offend a lot of people by saying that. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Mason says, Eli putting his foot down. What's up, Mason? Good to see you as always. I'm putting my foot down. Oh boy, Eli is a spicy boy today. I am a little spicy boy today. Oh my goodness gracious. That's so funny. Hey man, I gotta let people know, because some people will take me out of context all the freaking time. Mason, you probably can relate to this as well, dude. Also, I don't know if you know, Mason, but when you joined the Discord group, I specifically, after you joined, made a role for you and a couple of other people. Here, how do I see this? What do I have to view to see this? Do I have to go to general chat to see? I'm trying to see how I see all the roles. Show members list, right? So under the members list, it says you're not online right now, but I created a role called the it's called the Poke Professors. And so more or less, I just thought it'd be cool to make a role for like actual like Poke YouTubers and call them like the Poke Professor. I don't know. I thought it'd be cool. So I just want to let you know I gave you that status because I thought you'd feel special. Oh my gosh. But I don't think you understand what I meant by it is not a special set evolution. Or I already clarified that. I said it was a special set, but not in the same way Hidden Fates was, because Hidden Fates only had ETBs. I'm aware of that. I'm saying it's a special set in regards to when you look at the set face value, it was a specialty set like Legendary Treasures, which also had a booster box, but it was geared not towards the playability perspective, but the collectability perspective, because I mean, you're not going to be able to play in the XY era / Sun and Moon era when that came out a 120 HP Charizard. Like, that's just not a thing. Obviously, because the Charizard wishes for collectability. Mason, how can I be you? That's so funny. Poke Department Snore. What are your thoughts on Chilling Reign? They printed the crap out of it, but is it just now starting to see an uptick at risk of reprint? See, that's the thing, man, is they didn't print the crap out of it. Everyone keeps having that assumption they did, but they didn't. They had Chilling Reign come out in June, and then Wave 2 was supposed to come out in July. Guess what happened? It got delayed. And then what happened? It was supposed to get a reprint in, or supposed to get its second wave in September. Then what? Got delayed. Then got delayed. Then got delayed. And then finally, it came out in November. But here's the deal. It came out around the time everything else got a print. And so everyone was so focused on, let me get one of these booster boxes, let me get one of these booster boxes, that the supply itself of the product was a lot lower than people thought, just due to the fact of the matter that the supply of just the general booster boxes in the market was just so much higher across the board. And so people were so focused on just a bunch of other sets, the demand was a lot lower for Chilling Reign. And so that's kind of the just big illusion of it all. I mean, Mason, if you want to correct me here, but at least from my distributors that I was working with, I got 0 Chilling Reign product whatsoever. It was just the initial release, and then it was the second wave that we were guaranteed going to the end of 2021 when everything else got like that huge amount of product, right? So that's the thing, is maybe they printed more on top of that and it was kind of supplied into the wave, but to my knowledge, my number stayed exactly the same. So it's not like if that were to have happened, I would have seen a bump in my allocation numbers, but my allocation numbers for wave 2 were exactly the same. They did not change whatsoever. I didn't get a ton of Chilling Reign because of that, right? But I could on the secondary market when it was dirt cheap for 75 bucks a pop. So it's like, I don't know, man, it's interesting. In terms of what are my thoughts on it though, like on it getting a reprint, I think it's entirely possible. Do I think it's plausible? It's a hard one, man. I would like to see Chilling Reign get a reprint, but it doesn't matter what I want. It matters what the market is going to react to and what the Pokemon company thinks is going to be the healthiest. And I think the Pokemon company really is more or less going to look to this. I think you have highest probability 2022 sets and newer reprint and Evolving Skies. I can see Fusion getting a reprint, but in my mind, I think they're more looking to the second half of the Sword and Shield era and saying, we want to focus more on this since this is the newer product of 2022 versus with 2021. That's kind of old news. It's in the past. Sure, Battle Styles in rotation, sure, Chilling Reigns in rotation, but like these sets in and of themselves, you know, they're kind of old news sets other than Evolving Skies, which is obviously pushing $400. We have to address that concern there. That's an argument I feel like can be made, but who knows? Pokemon Company can do whatever the frick they want at the end of the day. So this is all hypothetical, and everyone asks me this question every single time. It's so funny. People always ask me all the time, like, Eli, why do we always have the same conversation about reprints? But it's like, I get asked the same question all the time, and I'm not going to deny someone that question, right? And I have no problem talking about it because it's a fun conversation to have, because what else is there really going on in the market, right? It's kind of slow. It's kind of like you've got, all right, Lost Origin hit 150, exciting, right? Like sure, that's cool and all, like that's going to 150. It's fun to like look at the market and see that, but you know, what do we know so far? Everything's going up, right? Everything is going up. It's still on Pokemon USA, USA, correct, for product? What did you mean by that, Joey? I'm confused. Are you gonna sell the little restock to Patreon, such a tiny reprint? Yeah, I mean, that's just how I'm gonna have to do it. So it's not a reprint. Stop it. Yes, I will sell it to patrons. Yeah, there's a couple of things I have to do. We finally got numbers for Scarlet and Violet. I have to take care of that. We've got the V-Strigger tins, and then we have the product that I just recently got from Distro. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how I'm gonna have to do it. I will hopefully be putting up orders relatively soon here for our break. So we'll have break packs again for Scarlet and Violet, because I do want to get back to doing that. Obviously couldn't do it for Crown Zenith because of the store opening, but with Scarlet and Violet, I should have some packs I will be able to sell. I don't know if it's going to be our usual 500,000. I'm going to try and see. Just got to make sure that it lines up, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure I have the supply to do it. What's my name? My name is Wrath Zapdos. Mason says to Poke Department Store, you don't want to be like me. I'd love to be making cute candles. That's so funny. I think it's possible we see everything from Battle Styles forward, massive reprints this year. I think that's entirely possible too, Necro. It wouldn't surprise me. Holy cow, it's Eli. Oh my gosh, it's me. What's up, Collector Jay? Good to see you as always, brother. Speak the truth, boys and girls is different. I can do 75. I don't know about 100. And I totally understand that, man. You just have to ask yourself, is it worth it for another 25? It just really comes down to how much you spend a month, right? Is it as safe to sell 4,000 to 5,000 black and white era booster boxes on eBay or TCG Player, or is that something I should sell in person? Ooh, John, that's a good question. I personally have sold an expensive booster box on eBay before? I don't think I have. Like, I've sold it, quote unquote, but more or less for advertising, for people to PM me through Instagram. That's what I've always done, personally. So, you can if you want to, but I definitely would say that I've typically done Instagram or Facebook. That's usually what I've done. Or in person. Those are the three. Just to kind of avoid fees, and then obviously I just feel a lot safer that way. What's up, Agent Crypto? Department store. Eli, can I get my client discount? Right? Jose says, not sure if we already answered this, but will you be getting any more Crown Zenith product? Like, tiny amount. But that's obviously going to go to the... that's obviously going to... Sorry, I just read Mason's statement as I was literally trying to answer your question. That will be going to the patrons. Sorry, I'm going to correct you, Pimp. This is your show. I don't know why. When he said that, immediately my mind said, instead of Pokey Professor, what if I just called them Pokey Pimps? I don't know why my mind went there, but... I'm not going to correct you, Pimp. This is your show. But if I am wrong, I want to be corrected. I don't give a crap if it's my show or not. I obviously, if ever I make a false statement, I will make a correction. You guys have seen me make corrections many times before. That is what is the right thing to do. And not to mention too, if we're being honest here, a part of my job, like when you really think about it, is there is a journalism aspect to it. Like there is a reporting aspect to it. And so for me, if I'm going to be quote unquote a Pokemon journalist or Pokemon, in whatever you want to call me, right? Like there is something to be said about making sure you have accurate reporting, because you have to have that sense of credibility in your sources, right? I could open SV boxes tonight if I wanted to. Then things will get rolling. Oh my gosh, Mason out here trying to let people know what's up. Mason says, you know what's not getting reprinted? Celebrations. That's facts. That is facts. I'd be stunned if they reprinted it. The Pokemon Company came out and said they weren't going to reprint it, so that would be surprising. Pokemon should reprint the top 2 or 3 most in-demand Sword and Shield sets and the remaining print for SV. I don't know that few, man. That's a few amount if you really think about it. When you say you got your numbers for SV, does that mean for your second wave allocations? To my knowledge, from what it's showing me, and I've discussed this with my my sales reps, it is only 1 wave. There's no second wave. It's only 1 wave of product. To buy your product, do you still use Pokemark? I feel like every time I look, it's empty. Oh, do I use the website? No, I haven't used the website recently, just because the product is not there, right? Like, so here's my vision for what I want the site to be and the channel to be, right? I'm obviously going to have the Patreon, which is going to be focused more towards allocations. And then additionally speaking, the website itself, I feel like I want to gear towards more Pokemon USA specific ancillary product and then breaks. Obviously, if I have sealed product that I can sell on the site, then I will. But there just isn't really that kind of product to give. Like, I would love to bring my mystery packs back. I would love to start doing breaks more often again. But like, in terms of the mystery packs, it's just not a good time right now for me to pump those out. And then obviously in terms of the breaks, I just haven't had the packs to do so, or let alone the time. So I'm going to bring that back with Scarlet and Violet. And then hopefully, if we can get some more supply here, I can do some of the mystery packs again. But I really want to focus on kind of pushing the brand of ancillary. And then for the majority of my sealed product, pushing it towards the Patreon, right? Because that's kind of where I am. Like, everyone always is like, yeah, let me sell sealed product online. Like, sure, I'm good at giving you guys deals. Like, I know that I'm extremely competitive in the market, and I always want to give you good deals. But at the same exact time, I feel like everyone just gives, you know, a very competitive rate. And just because I give you guys a booster box that's $2, $3 cheaper, like, I don't know. I just don't. I want to be able to stand out from a branding perspective in the market and not just be this guy that, hey, I'm going to go shop here because he just so happened to be selling booster boxes $3 cheaper this time. I know you guys don't think about it in that regard because you guys are like, you've been following me forever. You like really appreciate the content that I put out, and I appreciate you guys for following me. But just how I look at it, just general brand, I want to kind of like push myself away from that, right? And if you look at people that are bigger, right? Like PokeRev. Most of the time on his channel, it's very similar in that regard. And I'm not saying I'm turning into PokeRev. Like, I'm not going to do like these, in today's video, we're going to, and like starts freaking out about like, you know, opening mystery packs. Like, I'm still going to do the content that I am doing. I'm just saying that from a general business model in what is the most fun for me and what I think is the most fun from a content perspective is just being more geared towards my site being content creator friendly, being more ancillary product friendly, if that makes sense. That's not going to, of course, mean that I won't have products such as Scarlet and Violet or whatever future set sometimes on the site, but I mean, that just comes down to supply. To buy your product there, you know, let's not get reprinted, already answered that. When is SV release date? The 31st, to my knowledge. We need some more chill race against the rotation streams. I know I've been busy. Oh, that reminds me, Mason. I was watching your video not too long ago, the one where you were talking about your SV numbers, and you were talking about your general percentages on what you were getting. So just to kind of collab numbers, So I wanted to order, I think 450 or 400 booster boxes, and I ended up getting 204. So that is where my numbers were. I don't think they were allocating it on a percentage basis, because when I asked my distributor, because, you know, watching your video, obviously, I said 204. They said it was just based on the fact that they wanted to make it an even case amount. But that's how it was from my distributor, at least, in terms of the number. And then obviously that was under, you got 60%, I got less. To be fair, we are a newer account, so it maybe looked at it differently. But even then, to like what I was told by my rep, they said that basically their numbers more or less looked exactly the same as, and this is Southern Hobby, the same as with Silver Tempest numbers for booster boxes. Like they didn't see an increase, but it was like they got around the same numbers, which obviously, like you discussed in your video, was extremely surprising because we would hope that we would have gotten more for Scarlet and Violet. So, but just kind of sharing what I got from my distro and what they kind of told me, it's I don't know, it's interesting, dude. I just don't know why. You would assume they would have increased the numbers with the supply being so low, but yeah, no. I wish I got 60% of what I ordered, because that would have been cool. Every time I go to the store, there's a million things. It's being a store owner, that's for sure. I'm trying to hang out and eat gummy bears and not work. I want your opinion to learn what to know. Just don't make stuff up. Hey, that's fair, man. I mean, simple as that. Just don't make stuff up. Can we please get a hint? Fate's over $200 already. Thanks, guys. Bye, bye, bye. Right? What kind of gummy bears? Good question. Celebrations is the most fun ultra modern set to open. Pika Pika says. Interesting. Rowdy says, I'm pretty interested in the Patreon, but kind of confused on how it works. I'm guessing you get things in at wholesale and then offer it up to Patreons at the same price. So here's how we've been doing it, right? And we're progressively changing the program. What we did is we said, hey guys, we're going to offer you access to our distributor list. Obviously, I can't send screenshots. Obviously, I can't give you the login. It's a breach of our agreement. But what I do is I take the product that I sell, or that I have access to, the Pokemon product from my distributor's page, copy and paste it into a Google Doc, and then you guys can copy and paste that into a submission form that I can get for you if it is available, right? Predominantly, that was majority of it being Pokemon. Obviously, as Pokemon has started to dwindle in supply, I've opened that up to other sets. It was already open previously, however, it was more or less discouraged just based on the fact that I don't really know product that much outside of Pokemon. Pokemon's my bread and butter, and so for me, it was just easier to do it that way. However, since opening the additional slots, I want to make sure that people can get product, and if they can't get product for Pokemon, then I'm going to let people get Wise, Flesh and Blood, Metazoo, etc., right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, etc., etc. So we actually have a list we're going to either publish today or tomorrow, which is going to be our secondary allocation sheet for ancillary product of Pokemon or alternative Pokemon product. So, but that's kind of just how the general system works. Obviously, I've been sick for the past week, so I'm still playing catch up on that, which is why I will have to see if I can get to it by today or tomorrow, because I'm playing catch up, that's for sure. Question, why are people buying Brilliant Stars for 165 when it's on Pokemon Center for 145? Same reason people are always overpaying for things, because they're uninformed. They don't know that, they just don't know. People don't know about the Pokemon Center website, they can buy it for cheaper. What if I collect a booster box that released for every set the next 13 years? How do you think I would do? Really good. We need mystery packs. I'll get on the numbers. I like making the mystery packs, they're fun. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on my Evolving Skies case. Now that it's $400 each, what say you suggest for a price? First wave, better pull rate, maybe 2,500 plus Sword and Shield era. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on my case. Now it's $400 each. What say suggest for price? First wave, better pull rate. Honestly, it's hard to say, man. I think if you're going to sell it, obviously depends on how you're going to sell it. Are you going to sell it on TCG Player, broken down? Or are you going to sell it CCG Player as a case? Are you selling it on eBay? Are you selling it offline? Like, there's so many different ways, but I usually just go off whatever the market is, and I just slightly undercut so I can just get it sold quick. Don't worry, Eli, my site can take your plays. We're so broke. Just fun. Is that from an authorized distributor? Damn, you got bodied. Wait, what? Wait, what did I say? Is that from an authorized distributor? Oh, I got bodied in terms of percentage. Yeah. That is yeah, that's where it's from. Oh, I meant for entertainment. Oh shit, that was not saying you make so I meant for entertainment purposes. You're all good, Mason. I know you're just playing, brother. I got you. But yeah, dude, I got bodied a little bit for sure. But my distro did tell me that they do everything on a 6-month rolling period, and since we literally just started our account, they're like, don't worry, when 151 comes around, you'll get your due in terms of product. Or whenever the next set is gonna come out. I assume that'll probably be whatever our English triple beat set is gonna be, right? Isn't that what's gonna come out? It's gonna be in June, because I think 151 is gonna be in July. Which, if we hold on, let me confirm that. So let's see this. So to my knowledge, Triple Beat officially released in Japan this Friday. The card from this set will likely become of our Paldea Evolve set on June 9th. So, I got numbers for Scarlet and Violet. We started doing it middle of January is when I had to start taking pre-orders. If we say middle of January and it's end of March, that's about 2.5 months away, typically, right? If you're saying June 9th and you say 2.5 months away, that literally means if we're going off the same timeline, in the next week or two, we in theory should start having Paldea Evolve pre-orders in. If it's gonna be our June 9th set. Right? That sounds about right for the time frame. What's up, Devin? Good to see you, brother. I'm pretty in already answered that question. Man, I am so good at scrolling up and down. Can we get a stream with you and Mason discussing the market maybe after S&V release? I don't know, Mason, what do you think? I'd be totally down. I had a blast when I had Mason on for the 5K special. I had a ton of fun. I haven't done a stream with someone in a while, and Mason's always chilling on Tuesdays, so I would love to have him on. So it's up to if Mason's down. A stream with Eli, Mason, and Danny and Squeaks would be a dream. Hey, I have messaged with Squeaks, but he doesn't seem to be doing that kind of stuff anymore from what at least he told me. And then Danny, I have not had a conversation with at all. So, because I would love to have Danny on. It'd be cool to pick his brain on things, obviously. He has a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? He's a veteran, but there's a word I'm looking for. He's experienced? No, what's the word I'm looking for? He's just been around for a very long time, right? He's just been around in the market, so he really, I feel like, would be good to ask a ton of questions on a lot of things. I mean, all of us talk separately all the time, just never together. At the same time, I love it. I'd foam at the mouth with excitement. That'd be fun. I'd be totally down. Mini tins are so lame, don't really hold a premium. Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that, like, from an MSRP perspective, they're the cheapest price point for packs. Yeah, mini tins are kind of sad. They're like, oh, look, you get a little bit of a thing where if you put it together with all the other mini tins, it makes an artwork. And you're like, or I could just keep the case sealed and it would probably look cooler with the artwork on the outside. I love alternative, LOL. Scotty 2 Dope says, is it worth buying Crown Zenith at $50? I think that's a good price, personally. As long as it's free ship. No, you won't get enough 151 because I'm getting it all. For English, it should be Triple Beat, Dark Ruler for SV2 in June. 151 in July/August. Then for the combo set SV3, then shiny in late fall. Yeah, I know people were speculating about, well, not speculating, but I mean, obviously, well, yeah, I would say speculating because of the name of the trademark sets. We've got, where is this? Gosh dang it, I hate how they just have that on the center screen. But yeah, so Shiny Treasure is going to be one of the sets that we're going to be getting, guys. So we've got Ancient Roar, Future Flash, Shiny Treasure. Ancient Roar. What was the Pokemon that used the was Ancient Roar? It is a rock type move. Oh, it was Flygon that made it. I did not realize that. But yeah, I mean, they're lining it up to be huge, honestly. If we're gonna be getting, where is it? Where's the other one? Where's the flame set? I know, because it'll show like a Dark Charizard on the front of the article. Right? No, it's this one. I could have sworn it had a Charizard at the front, but a new trademark, Ruler of the Flame, has been filed. This was back in February. Treasure of Ruined Legendaries. New EX Star Super. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a lot of crazy stuff coming up for SV, that's for sure. $151 is going to be insanity. He is the OG indeed. Like, people don't even realize Danny has been in the game for so long. I know, that's the thing. He like popped off over, what is he? He popped off over COVID, so people think that he like really just has his, you know, been around since then, but like he's been prevalent for a very long time. He just obviously didn't really start to grow in the YouTube sphere until then. If I'm correct, before, didn't he do like commentating for like just tournaments? I think like regionals. I remember that was like a part of his content early on, if I'm correct. Mason, I'm buying all the mini tins, opening them, selling the booster box packs individually. 900 IQ. Is Scarlet and Violet worth getting a case of? At the right price, I would say so. It looks like it's a good set. More like Giovanni. Ancient Roar. It's so crazy how many sets just combine words from past sets. Oh yeah, you mean like you know, Lost. Wait, actually no. Ancient Roar. So I guess Roaring Skies, Ancient Origins. What other sets? Ancient Origins, Roaring Skies. What other sets have Ancient and Roar in them? Roaring Moon. That's a set. See, I've been in the hobby since, like I said before, my first ever product that I ever got, I remember it when I was a kid. We went to Walgreens and we got EX10s. Mine was a Tyranitar EX10. My brother's was a Ho-Oh EX10. It had EX era product, and my brother pulled the Mew Gold Star. And holy crap, it's in terrible condition still. But that was what my first exposure was to product. And then outside of that, my first ever like booster box, or not booster box, sorry, my first ever theme deck I ever had was the Torterra theme deck, which I absolutely loved growing up as a kid. Torterra was one of my favorite theme decks. growing up, I absolutely love Torterra. Still love him to this day. Funny enough, though, my first level X tin that I ever got was the Infernape level X tin because he did the most damage. And when you're a little kid, you care about which Pokemon does the most damage. That's why I always wanted a Mesprit, because the Mesprit Pokemon did 200 damage, I want to say. And I was, oh my god, it does 200 damage! If I'm correct. Was it 200 damage? Yeah, it was 200 damage. Mesprit level X. If you don't have Uxie or Azelf level X in play, this attack does nothing. Discard all energies attached to it. But I always thought that was super cool growing up as a kid. And then obviously Infernape level X. The promo, which I love the promo. I thought the promo was so cool. But yeah, this one did 150 damage. And I was like, whoa, it does 150 damage. Don't get me wrong, like, obviously Torterra is where my heart is. But, Torterra level X didn't do 150 damage. It only did a measly 100. And I was like, oh my gosh. As a little kid, all I looked at was how much damage the Pokemon did, how much health it had. That was what you did. And the damage obviously meant more than the health. But yeah, let's see. Infernape 10, Torterra theme deck, and then, yeah, my EX Tyranitar 10. I wonder if I can still find what it looks like. You guys probably might not know what it looks like. Tyranitar EX 10, if you know what I'm referencing. Yeah, this 10. This was the first 10 I ever got. Came with 3 booster packs and 1 of 3 special foils. But that is my childhood. That's when I first started. And then my cousins and some of my other buddies that were older than me, like family friends, they were like into WotC era, and so they had all their WotC product. And it's so funny because as a little kid, I like had WotC and I collected WotC, but in all honesty, I was like, this stuff looks ancient, bro. Give me that EX level X cards. Those are shiny. This is way shinier. I don't want this Kangaskhan or Chansey Hollow. Frick this crap. Like, I just never really cared about WotC as a kid because it just really didn't have any sentimental value because that's not what I grew up around, right? And then I played in tournaments in the black and white era. I kept going for a while, right? Took a break in the XY era a little bit. I tried coming back when Evolutions was around. Steam Siege was atrocious. I remember Steam Siege was one of the first packs that I opened when I tried getting back into it after taking a little bit of a break, and boy was I upset. I was like, wow, this is what I can pull a bronze on break? That was depressing. Like, this sucks. But the Evolutions was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I mean, obviously I was never into WotC to begin with, but I thought it was kind of cool. But God, I fell in love with Unified Minds and Cosmic Eclipse. That was a big one for me. I opened some Sun and Moon base and some other early Sun and Moon product, but I just never really cared for that much. Like, I was always in the hobby. I was always following what was going on, but I wasn't like balling out like I used to, right? Like, I'd always get every game, except Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon is the only game I never bought. I bought every single game, every single release, except for Sun and Moon, because I just thought it looked bad. And for me, that was just kind of hard for me to pull the trigger on, right? It was something where I got into the cards because I thought the card sets were good for the second half, but gosh, man, I remember opening Burning Shadows. I was like so depressed because the cuts of Burning Shadows packs, like the quality of Burning Shadows was so atrocious. It was one of the worst sets opening I've had in terms of experience. It was so upsetting. Like, it was just so bad. I was like, wow, I want to get the Charizard. There's a Rainbow Charizard? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I remember watching, God, who was I watching when I was younger? It was Max Mofo. Max Mofo did a video of him opening it and all the stuff he had to open. I was like, I want to open it. And so like I went to GameStop and I like bought a bunch of Burning Shadows packs online. Within the first 20, I remember I pulled a Ho-Oh full art and it had like this big like rip along the back. And I was like, there's no way this isn't resealed, right? Like, how could the quality condition be so bad? Like, it was just terrible quality. And that was kind of what turned me on a ton, or turned me off a ton from Sun and Moon. It wasn't until the second half when they Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, Hidden Fates, Cosmic Eclipse, where I really started to get back into it, you know? But yeah, I would say up until XY base set, I was, you know, following the game, or sorry, up until XY, I was following the games. I would say back end of Black and White is when I started to kind of fall off. Legendary Treasures was cool, but I didn't really collect it a ton because I was more into competitive than I was the like the collectability aspect, which is so funny to think that I like have done a complete 180. Like before, I used to be one of those nerds that was like, I don't freaking care about how that card looks. I just want a competitively viable card for my competitive deck. And then how I like all of a sudden switched around and I'm like, wow, I just am. I'm like, sure, the competitive game's fun. It was part of my childhood. I loved playing it all the time in tournaments, but like now it's the collection aspect that I really enjoy. Mine was 7-Eleven selling base set. Really? That's crazy, dude. Evolving Roars. I want this shiny treasure set to be the Cloister centered. The Cloister centered. I wish I understand the reference. Ancient Roar, Future Flash are the area 0 variants, which will be a full set for us. Interesting. I also like the V Striker tins as they have. Yep, they do have 3 ES. Is SMV worth getting? Okay, already answered that question. Ancient Origin, Lost Origin, Roaring Skies, and then Evolving Skies. But that's not Roaring. That's Ancient Roar though. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I thought we were just saying Ancient and Roar, which sets have that. Evolving Roar, right? How to name Pokemon sets. An active color, adjective, and weather related. It's pretty accurate, honestly. How many siblings do I have? 2. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. I'm the oldest. I remember in 8th grade, everyone was throwing around base out. Have you guys seen that Gus and Eddie video where they were talking about how it was like owning Pokemon cards when you were a kid? I thought that was so funny. They were like both like holding Pokemon cards and they had like Cheeto dust on their fingers and they were eating Cheetos. And they were like, bro, how are we gonna know to tell apart whose card is whose? And he's like, I've got a great idea. What if we wrote a Sharpie on the back of whose was whose? And I was like, yo, that's so funny. What's the ideal game before selling off Modern Sealed? Can't decide to offload the Pika Zek Lance before. It depends, man. It depends on so many different things, right? Because if I think that the item itself is more than likely going to get a resupply, then as long as I can make a profit, then I'm going to flip it, right? For example, if we go and take a look at Crown Zenith, and we look at the price of... Oops, sorry. We go look at the price of the Crown Zenith Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. You can get it at cheapest for around like $130. $130, guys. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh. $130. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, anyway, so you can get it for $130. And honestly, if I see that pop up on the Pokemon Center website, like I would start slowly taking profits on this. $130 and you got in at 65, like before fees, that's literally a 100% return. Like that's so good, guys. Come on. So like for me, when I see a set like this, I get nervous that it's gonna drop at any point on the site, because it's not like a regular like booster box where I know if there's going to be a supply coming. It's going to be specifically Pokemon exclusive. So I'm like, crap, man, I'm going to start slowly selling this off. But if it's like a specialty product, like like a Pikachu and Zekrom box, right? Or a Lance's Charizard, I feel like for me, I don't mind holding at least until I don't know, man. unless I really need the liquidity, it's really hard for me to say when to sell that specific product, because in theory for celebrations, obviously we had that kind of weird resupply of Walmart, but at this point it's like, when do you really ultimately know that the price could theoretically like just stop. And I'm not going to at that point take like a measly 20-30%. Like obviously I'm going to get greedy at that point of 100+%, but it's not necessarily greedy when it's such a, like, you know, the Zekrom Pikachu is such a niche product that's more than likely not going to have a just massive dump because it's just a GameStop exclusive, right? There've been opportunities to get it cheap, but that time has passed, and I doubt that'll happen again. Selling on TCG Player on the ES full case with lots of picks and proof as you suggested. Yeah, just got to be safe, man. Got to be very safe. I appreciate you, Don. I remember pulling a base set Charizard at the Walmart parking lot when I was like 9. No clue where that card went. That hurts the heart. I remember when I had 12 level X cards growing up as a kid, and I put them in my pocket because I wanted to take them to school, and then I forgot they were in my pocket, and they went through the wash, and then I cried a lot. I was so sad. Sun and Moon base set was bad, you're right. I bought V-Striker 10s recently, got Vivid Voltage instead of Evolving Skies? Whoa! Really? Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from, dude? From which distro? That's scary, dude. I passed on it from distribution because I didn't see, and the lunch boxes, what a miss. How much V-Striker tins did you get? We got 25 cases or something like that. 27 worth, but we got like around 200? Something like that, around that number. Did you see Max Melfo came back like 2 days ago? I heard about that. I haven't watched his video though, but Max Melfa is indeed. What's up, Koga? Good to see you, brother. Freaking Lurker finally coming back. Do you collect booster boxes? I used to collect booster boxes. I will get back to collecting booster boxes, but when I moved from Oregon to Arizona, I offloaded a lot of my sealed product collection just because I needed liquidity for the move, because moving's expensive. Moving is extremely expensive. I got a V-Striker tin from 2 different places. Both had 5 brilliant star. Dang, really? Wow. I must have just gotten lucky, man, with my experiences from distro, because I've only gotten Evolving Skies. I've gotten a lot of Evolving Skies product recently. The collector's chest, the Arceus ones, I've gotten those from multiple different distributors, and every one so far has had Evolving Skies. Whether it be Peach State, whether that be Magazine Exchange, whether that be Southern Hobby, like all of them have all included Evolving Skies inside. Chill with the word like, bro. Sorry. I just my how do I want to say this? My language. Am I having a stroke? I just say things sometimes repetitively, and then I don't notice. It's always different too. It's never the same word. Like. Leave a like. Leave a like. Hey, there you go. Poke Department Store. That's true. Do you think Shiny Treasure will do something new with Shiny Pokemon, or will follow the same format as Hidden Fates and Shiny? I would like to think it's going to do something new, but I couldn't tell you, honestly. I still have my base set Blastoise, that candidate for PS 8.5, right? Oh my god, my brother, I wrote our names on all of her cards to tell them apart. Isn't that so bad that we did that as kids? Pokemon TCG, what's up, brother? Hey, Eli, how can you explain how distro has no Evolving Skies packs, but grocery stores now stocking Evo Skies packs? I cannot see that MJ Holdings held this stuff this long and is now stocking these stores. MJ Holding is just on a different level. They are just above the standard distributor because they work with big box retailers. So they just get special privileges with the Pokemon Company. Anyone who took Eli's not financial advice on the PC ETBs doubled up already. That's powerful GU demand. Hey, appreciate it, Necro. I don't think the Pokemon Center ETBs are going to be something that gets a reprint from here. I think Pokemon has put themselves into a corner. I think the PC ETB will be a one-way thing done. Well, historically speaking, how it works is the lead up to the release of the set, the PC ETB sells out, and then shortly after they do a dump of the supply. Obviously, as it stands right now, it's not there. It's just not there, and it's unusual. But everything's unusual. We get it, Eli. That's your lingo. Well, my lingo is all over the place. My lingo changes every day, right? Like that's freak. I did it. I said like again. My lingo just changes a lot. It's weird, and it's never like. It's never the same. It's always different. Holy crap. Bro, there's 2 different V-Striker tins, one at Walmart and one at Target. So what's the pack difference, PokeGeek? So you guys think the CZ PC ETB is not coming back? I would presume it's going to come back, but I cannot be 100% certain based off of, once again, being a historical point in Pokemon. Picked up a case of CR today, 140 a box. FOMO is undefeated. Bro, FOMO is undefeated is not the words I wanted to hear out of your mouth right there. That is no bueno, good sir. Is there an additional cost to have you send product to ship my cards? Yeah, so how it works, Catch 'em All TCG, is it's $10 for them to store your product for a month, and if you want to, but otherwise it's just a $10 flat fee, and then after that, it's whatever the cost is. Oh, I remember what I was doing. I was going to live because I wanted to go to the live control center. Sometimes the chats update weird through Streamlabs. People's taxes are getting delayed because of how much I love listening to Appreciate you, John Boy. It's just practicing using sentences without like. Take your time, otherwise you'll still do it. Who cares? But that's the thing, is I don't use like a lot. I've used like today a lot, but a lot of times it is very much. With that being said, take it with a grain of salt. In my opinion, I mean, it's always different. It's never the same, you know? Are you ready to FOMO? What are we FOMOing for, baby? I'm happy I got one sealed case then, right? I'm so mad I didn't buy any CR when it was $85 a booster box. Booster box. I mean, that's the thing. I basically told people as long as you're getting it sub wholesale, I said it was a good deal, right? I mean, I was still okay with you picking it up at $90. When it got above 100, then I said there was other opportunities, which there were other opportunities to pick up at the time. But man, I was telling people $75 all day. You pick that up all freaking day when Chilling Reign was there. Just start mixing in such as like that clip out of Miss Southern Carolina. Indubitably, Necro says. Eli merch coming soon with all of his phrases. I don't have a crystal ball, but that's a good idea, right? Like, that would be so funny if I actually did that. I don't know if people would buy those shirts, but that would be funny if I did make Eli merch and that's all it was me saying take it with a grain of salt, or like I don't have a crystal ball. Yeah, don't beat yourself up on something you missed. There will always be more opportunity. And that's what I always have to tell people, man. I always tell people that The reason why I am very much so on the boat of, hey, if you can get it at slightly above wholesale, below wholesale, then that's the best time to do it. But once it hits sub or above a certain price, now in theory you could pick it up and it wouldn't be a bad pickup. But I look at this market and I say to myself, how many times there's such amazing opportunities and I can take advantage of maximizing those opportunities. I just prefer to, I shouldn't say go all in, but there has been times where I've been like, this is like a now or never situation. Like when Celebrations, Pokemon Center ETBs were on the site and they announced that this was it and they were going to be done after this, I went all in. I spent so much money on Pokemon Center ETBs. Like I went crazy on them and it paid off, right? Yo, merch line, right? There's a mockumentary called 7 Days of Hell. It's got Sandberg and Harrington facing off in a week-long tennis match, but it's hilarious to see. I have not seen it. One is brilliant, and one had 3 evolving. Which one had evolving? Was it the Walmart one? I think the Walmart one had evolving, if I'm correct. What are the opportunities right now, John says? Don't ask me that question, John, because there aren't any. There's always opportunities, except for right now. The last opportunity that I discussed with you guys was picking up booster boxes at 105 for Scarlet and Violet and then Crown Zenith ETBs on the Pokemon Center website. Those are the last two that I would say were the biggest. Sorry, I was muting myself as I sneezed. I might sneeze again. Oh, I'm muted. Gosh dang it. Oh my god. Okay, guys. Okay. So there was a glitch on, I'm not even kidding you, there was a glitch on Streamlabs where I clicked unmute and then it remuted itself. And I had to click unmute 4 times until it finally unmuted itself. It literally just kept muting me. I'm not even kidding you. Okay, so that one's not on me. That one is on Streamlabs acting weird. But where was I? Oh yeah, frick you, Koga. The stream did not get better. Got worse. No. All right, but it's working now. I'm talking. Okay, so his voice is so calm when he's not talking crazy, right? I've been going all in on the V-Striker tin. As I was saying, I don't think people heard me, but I don't think you can really lose there. If you're going to get either 3 Evolving or 2 Brilliant or 5 Brilliant, Brilliant's still a great set, right? But after that, Agent says, can we look mid-modern product investable right now? That's a tough one, man. That is a tough one because I obviously primarily focus on Ultramodern. because I just look at Sun and Moon Era product and I see it and I'm like, it's so expensive. But if I were to guess and say which one do I like, they're going up again. It's hard from a seal product perspective, honestly. We're gonna with the Discord bot we're working on. I really want to do investigations in the Sun and Moon Era. I think there should be there's gonna be a ton of opportunity for the Sun and Moon Era. We're doing Silver Tempest right now. That's one of the sets we're going to be doing testing for. But that's kind of where we want to transition into, is just checking and seeing where Sun and Moon is, because I think if you're talking about real value, singles are gonna have to be the way. I just need to make sure that I can come up with that formula or algorithm that we can check and see. You holding wads of cash in each hand, then beneath your portrait it says, not financial advice, not financial advisor. I'd buy that merch all day. I'm just gonna do such the cheesiest stuff. Collector J says I'm an innocent sunflower. I'm muted just in time for the F-bomb. I did not say an F-bomb. I said frick. I guess that's an F-bomb. Some people say that. Streamlabs is over sneezes. I know, right? I was sneezing and then it was like, Worth picking up PC SVETB. I would say that from an investment perspective, I mean, let's think. It went from 10 packs to 11, and the price went up an additional $15. Sure, you can say, well, it also gets 2 promo cards inside, but that's such a turnoff. I mean, it'll probably do fine. Like, they will probably do fine in terms of an investment, but it's such a new concept to me to pay this much more for a Pokemon Center exclusive ETB. I have honestly no idea how this is going to play into the market. I'm going to assume that it'll do well, just based off of hopefully everyone adjusts to the inflation, but still, it's still scary to think about, you know? Take responsibility. I'm buying all on eBay. Picked up 5 cases of SV at 106 per box. Let's hope that's still a good long-term play. But, okay, so yeah, someone asked me what were the most recent good deals that were going on. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of anything really right now. For the longest time, it was the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. I'm still a fan of that, but the opportunity to get it at 80 or 90 is just starting to dwindle. If you can pick it up at 100, obviously I ain't going to blame you for it. It's still good. I still think it's got really good long-term opportunity. But outside of that, you know, Crown Zenith ETBs, Pokemon Center exclusive, were one of my biggest hits. I talked about a ton. And then obviously the Scarlet and Violet booster boxes at 105. Those were kind of my main 3 ones I really discussed a lot in depth. Was there other product? I want to see, how's my Arceus V figure call going? It is at currently 40 bucks. Nice, still going up. This is the chart. This is the pre-order price. This is the release price. And this is where it is. Feeling good about it so far, guys. Sun and Moon base set, so cheap. It's because there's not really demand there, that's why. Does Distro still have Charizard UPCs? Yes, they do, for 80 bucks a pop. I just bought 2 booster boxes of Burning Shadows for 300 each. That's a steal, dude. I don't know where you got it for that price. That's incredible. Team Up Checkling blisters have been solid. Dang, you accidentally skipped my last question. My bad. What's your thoughts on the new Battle Saga game? It's already on TCG Player. Is it already on TCG2, so it's getting support? I have never heard of it, so I cannot give you my opinion. I apologize. Did someone say formula? How many Silver Tempest boxes did you get from Southern Hobby a few weeks ago? They offered me 50 and I took them. They gave you 50? You're trolling me. You're trolling me. You did not give 50. I got 2 cases. I definitely heard an F-bomb. Dang it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm over here swearing when I'm off the mic. You guys caught me red-handed. Eli's not so much of an innocent sunflower. Singles are definitely the way for Sun and Moon era. I agree. I don't understand why Sword and Shield base is more than S&M base booster boxes. Because the supply for the base set of Sword and Shield was so much lower. That's one factor. And then the demand for the set is higher. Those are the 2 reasons. There was a lot of Sun and Moon base that was floating around for a very long time. I don't think people realize that. Sun and Moon base was on Distro's website after Sword and Shield base had went out of stock on distro websites. Like, they were sitting on sites forever. So the way to go with mid-modern is to buy out the banger singles. I like that idea, more room for storage of sealed items. I mean, honestly, there's just not a ton that I like in terms of sealed product. You can totally make money off that, but for me, it's like throwing a dart and just hoping that it lands where you want it to. I'd much rather go look at the singles and just do my kind of, equation when determining what's the best to pick up, which is what I would love the bot to be able to do more on a, micro scale, so that we can truly dissect and look at those opportunities, because I do feel like there's some Sun and Moon era product that has good opportunities. Sword and Shield base is garbage. SV is like 3 times better, no exaggeration. Yeah, Scarlet and Violet is definitely going to be one of the best sets, if not the best base that we've had. Yes, get them 50. Did you get more Crown Zenith ETBs? Just got 100 more. He's trolling. There's no way he's not trolling. I just got 30. I got 3 cases worth, so you're just trolling me at this point, Devin. Get out of here. Get out of here, Devin, you freaking troll. Who's your distributor, Devin? That's the question I gotta ask you. What was I gonna look up? Yeah, I was gonna look at some Sun and Moon era stuff. See if we can look at some Sun and Moon era and see if there's one we can point to. So, Cosmic Eclipse, alternate arts. These used to be a really good pickup for the longest time. Is that changed? Not a fan, man. Look at what the spread used to be back in the day. God, even in 2021 to 2022, the spread on this was so good. And then what's happened? The 9s have gone up while the 10 has gone down. I feel like you would make an argument saying that the value of this card as a 10 is undervalued. I think that's the strongest argument you could honestly make. Honestly, this card for $275 is kind of a steal in my opinion. That feels like such a good deal. I love that card so much. But yeah, when it like first came out and then the pandemic, I mean, look at this thing. Went all the way up to 600. Ignore this sale, 480. Ignore this sale, 485, 474. Kind of went into the 3s, then went back up to the 4s, and then it just kind of went down. But look at the difference between the 9 and the raw. It's just so all over the place. But I think there's an argument to be made. This card's undervalued for its 10. You can't get enough from your distro. I feel that. Let's look at the Charizard and Braixen. See how this performed. I mean, how often do you see a Rainbow Charizard card for $200 in a 10 with a sub 1,000 pop? I mean, the spread value between the 9 and the 10 is atrocious. The spread between the 9 and the raw is atrocious. Like, this is just so bad. This is just so bad. I think there's more of an argument to be made, less of the fact that the spread is good when it comes to grading these, and more of an argument to be made that this is just so, like, disgustingly just underpriced for the 10s compared to the 9s. You know? I mean, just... How about this? Is there a decent spread at least on this one? Not really. What about 9 to raw? Terrible spread. Terrible spread. It's upsetting, man. You can buy all the singles of some of the Sun and Moon era sets for like $300-400. Yeah, I know. They're not bad. The pricing on it is so good. That's why I asked you before the video. Okay. Copped 13 booster boxes, Scarlet and Violet, 105 each. Looking to potentially buy 30 to 36 booster boxes moving forward. Every new set. What's the cheapest deals can I get in buying bulk? I mean, not at this moment, honestly. I would just say workout series. Just be patient, man. Just wait for the deals to present themselves. That's a great pickup price at 105, but right now I'm just being patient. There's nothing much out here. Cost of LO singles is like $14.30 right now. That can largely be modern because of the relevance to the TCG and the value drop off drastically after. I think it really just comes down to, there's so many different multiple factors. I think there hasn't been a ton of LO that's been out there. I think that the pull rates for LO are absolutely atrocious. And I think the demand for the set is extremely high. I think those are the 3 reasons why. I'm getting SV tomorrow. I post the office does its job. Hey, well, shout out to you for getting some SV, man. Yo, have you seen that Pocket Twitter has been calling you out on channel and for investing? I've been with you since last year and everything you've been saying has been super helpful for me. Yeah, I have, Louis. It's so funny you say that. So here's the deal. I have a lot of people that how do I want to say this? Everything bad happens on Twitter. Twitter is just a place of toxicity, right? I'm not on Twitter for that reason. I had the owner of the large Twitter account, as well as the large Pokemon deals channel, message me, sending me a screenshot of the tweet, basically saying, hey, someone's talking crap about you. I don't know what their problem is, but basically, I think you should call them out. I will support you in this. And I was like, okay, sure, I will do that. But in all honesty, I didn't really care. Like, here's the deal. People are going to make their criticisms over the stupidest things. And if you looked at the post, what was the criticism he made? He made 2 critiques. One, the critique was, don't trust anyone that hasn't been in the era pre-XY. When did I get in the era EX? Does he even watch my content? Because that's not true. I've been in the hobby since I was 5 or 6 years old. And sure, you can say that, you know, I haven't been an investor in the hobby since pre-XY. But at the end of the day, like 95% of people haven't. Most of the people that were in the hobby that made investments were just collectors that just so happened to get lucky and their collection ended up becoming large returns on investment. Doesn't mean they're more qualified than someone who's been in the hobby for a shorter amount of time, right? So silly statement and very uninformed statement, right? Then the second statement that was made was there was a collage of me and then a couple of other streamers, and it was our thumbnails talking about people uninformed saying that you should pick up battle styles. For those of you guys that watch my content, you know that when it comes to my thumbnails, they are clickbaity. And I show pick up battle styles over Evolving Skies quite frequently because it's clickbaity. Because people are like, oh, his thumbnail says that I should pick up battle styles over Evolving and it's a better set? That's crazy. I'm going to have to watch this video and see. Like, that's clickbait, bro. And so it was almost like he looked at my channel face value and just made a bunch of general assumptions about me without any sort of information. And it was extremely like annoying, but at the same time, why do I care? Why am I going to let some guy on Twitter affect me, right? Like, dude, Twitter doesn't exist when you aren't on it. Like people just get so caught up in the Twitter beef and the Twitter drama, and I'm like, bro, this is a part of it. You're going to get criticism from people, and sometimes it's valid, but like a lot of it is extremely invalid. Like, I said like again a ton. I just feel like, Frank, I did it again. I just feel as if people have a tendency to look at thumbnails, look at headline articles, and just judge based off of that without actually going and looking to the context of what it is they're criticizing. And that's just, I feel like, a lot of society nowadays. And for me, it's not really worth my time to try and, hash it out and beef. Could I have commented on the Twitter thread and, said something about it? Sure. Did I say something in the deals channel at the request of one of my friends who is the owner of the server, so that we could, more or less make a point of let's not be toxic? Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, I'm just not going to let it affect me, because that's not a proper representation of the channel. Like, if he wants to criticize me for certain things, then come on the channel. Let's have a conversation. Ask me questions on Q&A days. I would love to have a productive conversation. If there is a time where I am wrong about something, I will make a correction. Heck, man, my last video I made a correction. I had said that triple beat, I presumed that was going to be a part of Scarlet and Violet base. I was wrong. I made a correction. I don't know what more you want from me, right? So moving on, but you kind of get the point that I'm making with that. Scarlet and Violet base is a $220 a box in Canada, but how much is that in USD? Is there any information for CZ ETB restocks or reprint? I'm just buying the mini tins and getting the packs from there. Seems to be the cheapest. Is there any information for CZ ETB reprints or restocks? Well, we had a small, tiny restock, but it's not really worth a conversation about, honestly. If there are less PSA 9s than 10s, they shouldn't be worth more due to rarity. Hold on one second. If there are less PSA 9s than there are 10s, it shouldn't be worth more due to rarity. But I don't think you understand the point that I was making by that. I was saying that the general spread value of the 10 compared to the 9, I understand you're looking at it from a population perspective, but from what I've learned over time, and it really is frustrating because it kind of defies economics a little bit, is obviously if there is an increase in the 9 supply, then the value of the 9 will go down because 9s are way less sought after than the 10s. However, this is not representative of true value compared to the 9. A perfect example of this would be, if I'm correct, we will go take a look together, but it would be the Moonbryon. No, it's not going to give us the price charting history. Is there another place I can look at it? Is there another place I can look at it? I might be able to look at it here. What number is it? 215. Okay, here we go. So let's see if we can see the population on the chart. So if you look at the price of this card, the population report for the 9 versus the 10. The 10 was drastically more consistently throughout early 2022. If we look to the run-up of the price for the Umbreon, the spread of this card was so drastic. So drastic. I mean, look, up until the end of last year, this price of this card was worth upwards of $1,300. As you can see, start of 2022, the spread for PSA population from the 10 versus the 9 just got worse and worse. So literally leading up until the 6th of October of last year, the PSA population between the 10 versus the 9 was 7 times the supply, right? And so I'm going to delete this so I don't keep doing that. I mean, the population between the two is still drastic. But when you look at this and you compare the two, it's still very much so indicative of the people's mentality, which is, I don't give a frick about the 9 versus the 10. Maybe you can make that comparison between a raw and a 9 perspective, but I feel like when comparing it between a PSA 10 and a 9, this run-up shows us that the spread got worse and worse, and then there was a final adjustment. So, do I think that there is a point in which a market correction could happen for a card that is too drastically oversupplied for the higher condition? Yeah, I totally think so for Ultra Modern. But for a card such as that in Cosmic Eclipse, where the supply of this card in the PSA 10 compared to the 9 is not even double of that of the 9 versus the 10 to 9 comparison in Evolving is, let's see, it was around 600, like a 6 times amount difference. Like that, I feel like this is just, you know, in theory, still very much so undervalued just based on comparing the spreads between the two. I mean, gosh dang it, man. That is a lot of Moonbryons in a 10. A lot of Moonbryons in a 10. $3,819 in a 10. That's a ton. So that's just kind of where I stand with that. In theory, I would usually agree with supply And obviously we saw that adjustment made when the correction finally came, because you knew this was going to have to correct at some point because this spread is just too big. So I would agree with you in that instance. But just from a macro scale perspective, the Arceus card, because here's the deal. Here's the best way to explain it from a macroeconomics perspective. Because the statement you made more or less was this: if there are less PSA 9s than 10s, then shouldn't be worth more due to rarity. Although rarity is, of course, a component of this, demand is also a big component. So when you look at the Moonbryon and you say, how is it that the supply went up 7-8x that of the 9s, and yet the price still kept getting more spread between the two? It's because the demand for the 10s was just so much greater. So that, in theory, is why it was able to run up. Then, finally, when the demand fell off, that's when the supply came into effect and people realized how less scarce it really was. So when comparing that to the Arceus as a card and looking at it, you can say to yourself, okay, well, this Arceus card, how has it realistically performed? When comparing the value of the card, it has not had the same fall down in the same, what's the word I'm looking for, extreme as that of the Moonbryon, because the volume is not there. Obviously, there was an extreme fall off because of the end of the, pandemic run for singles. But everything did that. Or like 90% of things. I shouldn't say everything because then someone's going to say, Eli said. But if you look at the overall volume in sales for this item, it's so much lower. And on top of that, the progression in which this card has continued to go down has been over a period of a year plus, versus that period for the Moonbryon was sub half a year to even just a couple of 3 to 4 months. So they're just completely two different situations when comparing the general population of the two, because there's just, at this moment in time, not a high demand for this card. So when I make the statement, I think it's undervalued when you look at this card compared to the spread. I don't say that it's undervalued because I look and I say, oh, it's undervalued because I think this card should be, at this moment in time, worth more. I look at this card and I say, based on what we've seen with the Moonbryon, and we look at the population difference, I know that this is such a minor spread in population report difference compared to that of the Moonbryon. I notice that the population overall of this card compared to the Moonbryon is drastically smaller. Literally not even 1,000. Then I look at the price of the card and I compare it between the 9 and the 10. And I say, looking at what the spread was that the Moonbryon compared to this also feels undervalued. So what truly will make this card valued? The demand coming back for it. And that's what causes prices to go up. And that's where we are right now, where we're just waiting for the price of this card more or less to go up when that does end up happening, because demand comes back. But that's the thing about economics. It's not black and white. There's so many different finite things that you have to really focus on. Let's get a lawyer. You be the marketer and I'll be the accountant. We build up a small Pokemon. Hey man, I'm already doing my small Pokemon business. I'm trying to grow it. Trying. I wish you would clickbait more some of your best videos. I appreciate that, John. All printed dollars and coins in circulation is 53 billion. Total dollars is 21 trillion. Bank failures were planned by the Fed. Okay. That is a completely different... I mean, we could go into that freaking rabbit hole all day, but Same, verbal placeholders such as like and are used so often I never notice them until someone points them out. 100%. All right, everyone. I'm Audi 5000. Take care. Take care, Tom. Good to see you as always. What do you think about investing CZ packs long term at 480 per? Knowing, no, that's kind of high. I don't know. I'm staying away from a lot of the Crown Zenith product at this moment. That's already been released. I feel like it's just getting kind of eaten up because the demand is so high. I'm kind of taking a step back. Obviously, when I told you guys for the ETBs and the CUP or the CETBs, I was looking at that and saying, wow, this is an insane value, but obviously prices have since gone up by then. So it's crazy. I think using like is intended to compare things. It's fine it's not really an issue in instances of all, although it doesn't bother me either way. I usually watch most reviews. You spoke about Crown Zenith PC ETBs and how you rated it highly. I went in and bought 20 on them, and now those are sold out. Your advice is accurate. I appreciate that. Thank you. Eli's next thumbnail to troll Pokemon collapsing. Less than 3% of the dollar. Don't stoop to the level, bro. You're a good guy for the community. I appreciate that, and that's my thing, man. Is I'm just not. It's just not worth my time. I'd probably say go into the tins and feel those are Hidden Fates repeats. I mean, it's a good set, so as long as you can get the tins for a good price. Bro, what website am I in? This is Pokedad.io, and this one was PokemonPrice.com. 3,800, that's insane. Last time I told you, I swear it was 3,500. It's insane, dude. I participated in that spike. I paid 1,500 CAD and all the Moonbreon before taxes and import fees. 900 USD. Hope you got out because prices have dipped since then. Bro, go on that. Go on the Rainbow Charizard V-Star. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Okay, so that is a good one you brought up. I'm actually happy you brought that up. And here's why. Here's where you ask the question from supply. I think you're looking at this in the wrong way. And maybe I'm looking at this in the wrong way. But obviously we have our own opinions. We have our own beliefs. When I look at this Charizard card, and I look at this Charizard card, right? What's different? This one's a V-Star. This one's a GX. Sure, it has a breaks in, right? But ultimately, what is it? It's just another Rainbow Charizard. This one has almost 4,000 in supply. This one doesn't even have 1,000 in supply. Where is that? Oh, right there. They're the almost exact same price. When we go and we look at the population report, and we see it ourselves, let's go to what set is it? Sun and Moon, Cosmic Eclipse. Let's take a look at the Charizard and Breaksin card, 251. Let's see how the overall supply of this has been in the population. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Where is the supply? So, wait, where's the population chart? That was the price chart. Whoopsie. Population chart. What do we see in the population chart? So, the population chart, because it looks like they stopped recording. So, as of 981, the population since 6-4 has gone only up 10 points. So more or less, the scale in which this card was being graded back in early 2020 was insane. And by, I want to say the end of 2022, we can see that the population has only gone up 100. So in the past year, this population has gone up about 10%. That's not a lot. That is not a lot in terms of population, right? Now let's take a look at the Charizard V-Star population in the past year and see how that's performed. Brilliant Star. This is number 175. 74. All right, where's the population chart for this one? Oh, it's not even showing. No, is it not going to show me? That's lame. Looks like it doesn't have history. I might have to go to PSA for this one. Pull this over to the side so you guys don't see my login info. If it'll let me log in. Pop report. Let's see, Charizard V-Star. I don't know if it's gonna matter if I didn't put the R at the end there, but we're about to find out. Boo doo boo boo doo doo doo. This is taking so long. What the frick, man? Do I have too many tabs open or something? Web error. Awesome. Awesome. $174. Where's the English? There it is. See, but where is the actual population chart? Because there's an actual like population chart you can usually look up, and I'm trying to find that out. Is it the registry? No idea. No, yeah, there isn't. I can't find it. Gosh dang it. Anyway, but yeah, there used to be a way for them to there used to be a way for us to kind of see over time. But regardless, you know the point that I'm making. You guys understand the point that I'm making. Go on Rainbow Charizard, right? Already did that. Okay. I have a lot of people now wanting me to look at other cards. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I usually go for around 2 hours. We've been going for around 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I am actually well over my time in terms of how much and how long I go for. So here is the situation. I'm going to have to sadly end it here because I don't want to go for too long because I have a lot of things I still need to get caught up on. But I want to thank you guys all so much for stopping by. Obviously, Thursday we'll do this Q&A again. All of the questions I missed, I will get to. I apologize. If you want to make sure I don't miss yours, you can always super chat it. It goes to the top of the question sent to me. But please make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys for all the love and support. We got 4 more slots to my knowledge for the Patreon group. So if you have not checked that out, I highly recommend you do so before it sells out. If you want to join the Discord, links down in the description below. But yeah, that's about it. That's all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Until